Alrighty, how's it going, guys? And welcome to another tuning video. It is your boy Mars, and today, as you guys see on my background, I have an amazing car, which, it is the cover of Forza Motorsport 7. And I was like, hey, I got this car, let me tune it and see what it can do. And surprisingly, this car will wheelie. Yep, this car is amazing. I love it. It sounds great. You can put well over 1,000 horsepower in this car, and so let's get right to it. If you guys don't have one of these Porsches, I suggest you get one. It is the 2018 911 GT2 RS edition. As in real life, this car has actually been in back order. A lot of people have been trying to pre-order this vehicle, and they've been having some pretty hard time trying to get this car, in their hands and possession. But I believe now it's finally out. It went through, a lot of people now are actually getting this vehicle. But this is an amazing vehicle to have. So let's get right to it. Let's go to the tuning and upgrades, and let's go to the upgrade shop, guys. Let's go straight to the conversion. Let's get right to it. We're gonna go to the drivetrain. Of course, the car is gonna be rear-wheel drive. That's the only way it's gonna be driven. And let's go to the engine swap. Let's put our engine performance. Let's put everything on here. Race, as you guys see where the little ranch is at, that's where I have everything to be race. So as you guys can see, there we go, everything's going to be pretty much race. Let's put everything on here, race. Let's go exhaust. Let's put everything, those cams on there. Let's put those valves. So I already got this car pre-tuned and everything. It's already all good to go. Let's put those twin turbos. And let's even put the race intercooler in it. So this car is going to come out with a whopping 1,046 horsepower. And it's going to weigh at the end 2,800 pounds. But let's go to the flywheel. Of course, we're not going to put the flywheel. We're going to leave that alone. It causes your vehicle to spin more, so we're not going to put that. And of course, the only option you do have is to put the vehicle lightweight. Now, if you didn't put the lightweight, it was going to weigh around 31, but putting the lightweight ends up being around 28. That's, with the wheels and whatnot. So the car is weighing around 2,800 pounds. And let's go to this right here. Let's put everything on here, from the clutch to the transmission to the this drive line, and also the diff. Put everything on there, race. Now let's go to the tires. Of course, we're going to put some drag tires in the car. And then in the front, we're going to leave it alone at the 265s. So not that wide. It's pretty wide, but not that wide. And then we're going to go to the rear, like always, and put the massive 345s. So as you guys can see, they're pretty wide. And then we are going to go to the wheels, and we are going to put my favorite wheels, which are these Speedline wheels. Love the way these wheels look on so many cars, from the GTRs to you name it. So I love these wheels. Put these wheels on here. They're the Speedline F1 edition. Gave it that real deep dish look into it, so I left it black, and it matches perfectly with the gray accents, the gray paint of the vehicle. Then with the rim size, we're going to leave it at 20 in the front and 21 in the rear. I believe this vehicle was going to be staggered, so it is. Now let's go to the front bumper. We're going to leave that alone. And the rear wing, we're not going to put that hideous Forza wing, so we are going to leave the original Porsche wing on it. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the upgrades. Now let's go to the tuning, guys. On the tuning, it's going to be really fat front tires, so it's going to be at 55 in that PSI. And then I did it really low at 15 in the rear for this vehicle. Now we're going to go to the gearing. It's going to be 3.5. Then it's going to be 2.10 first gear. Second gear is going to be 1.50. Third gear is going to be 1.18. Fourth gear is going to be 0.96. And if you guys want the rest of the gears, which is going to be only 5 gears, it's going to be 0.76. Now we're going to go to alignment. It's going to be at 1 on the negative scale, or positive scale is going to be 1, and then pretty much everything zeroed out. But this right here, this toe is going to be at a negative 0.1 on the toe. And then after that, it's going to be front caster. It's going to be at 7.0. The reason why this toe is like that, that's how the original vehicle came with, and it prefers it to be like that, so I left it alone. So besides that, let's go to the anti-roll bars. Got those at 40, front and rear. Then I have the car extremely soft. That's the easiest way to making this car wheelie. Have it extremely soft at the 149.5, and then I have it pretty stiff at the 629. Do have the car raised all the way up at the 5.4 on the front, and then on the rear I have it at 6.1. Now let's go to that dampening. On the dampening I have it at 2, and then I have it at 7, and then 2, and then 7. I could do it at 1 or 1.5 or whatever it is at the max low, but I didn't want to because it was I don't know, it looked a little bit too sloppy. I didn't like the wheelie and the way it landed. But besides that, with the rear acceleration and deceleration, we are going to leave it at 100 and 100. So that's pretty much the tune for it, guys. And now let's go to the track. Let me show you guys how to launch the car. What to do with your settings. The track that we're going to race on is going to be right here, the C-rings. On assistance, if you go to your assistance, everything's going to be pretty much off. So off, normal, off, manual with clutch up, go always, cosmetic, and then off and off. So that's pretty much my settings. That's the best settings to use for drag racing or street racing. And then besides that, now let's go to the let's start this up, and then let me show you guys a real quick pass. The vehicle will lift up, but to get it actually off the ground, it's kind of like a bouncing movement, so you'll have to either let go and hit it. So I have it tuned that it'll like initially like lift up. You guys will see right now. I'll show you guys. Because the way tuning on this game, the car spins in the beginning, but then it grips at the end, which is kind of different because normally in motorsports game it'll grip in the beginning, but then once it hits around like 4,000 5,000 RPMs or a little bit higher, the vehicle starts to spin. And this is on almost all the vehicles, as you guys can see. Look, as you guys can see, the car just wants to like race off the ground. But yeah, they did with this Horizon, they did the tuning a little bit different. They have it that the car spins in the beginning, but then it grips. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the tuning on some of these cars, it does that. So on the older model, on the older games, the car will grip in the beginning, but then spin at the end. You know, due to the torque and turbo lag and whatnot, it'll cause the wheels to spin. On this game, it's a little bit different. It might be due to the cause how they have this brake boost launch. So that's how we're going to launch this vehicle as well. On the other Forzas, you actually have to rev. You have to rev your engine to about 2,000 RPM and then drop the clutch. On this game, they kind of followed by Horizon 3's idea. So what they did do was do the kind of like the two-step launch, or whatever you guys want to call it, the e-brake launch, or, you know. So that's what they implemented from Horizon 3 into Motorsport 7, which this is actually new because in Motorsport 6, this was not in the game. So that's what made it a lot difficult. In Motorsport 6, I could have this car and almost a lot of different cars that are mid-engine and really lightweight can wheelie. It was real simple, really easy, and especially if you go to test track. They have certain areas in test track that you can actually do that. But yeah, let me stop boring you guys. But yeah, it's real simple. All you're gonna do is press down the e-brake, which is the A button, and then you are going to feather the gas with the RT button really gently until you keep pressing the RT button all the way down, and then the vehicle holds right there at almost 2,000 RPMs. If you do just step on the gas, it'll still do it as well for this vehicle. Certain vehicles are really picky and then it'll just die out. But this vehicle, as you guys saw, it holded it still with the e-brake down, gas all the way down. And all you're going to do is just pretty much let go of the e-brake. And the car, look at that, it just like lifted up off the ground. And then I have the rest of the gears tuned for the quarter mile. And that's it. That's going to be pretty much the quarter mile right there. So that's the wheelie tune for this car. If you guys want, you guys can always bounce it. You guys like to do all that. See that you can just bounce it like that. But I have it tuned for the drag, so I do have the suspension set for the drag. I wanted to do a little bit of both and have a wheelie drag tune style vehicle, not just wheelie. So I did do it like that. There you go. Look at that. Pretty badass, pretty badass. Let me show you the interior. It has like a nice red interior in this car. Really love the whole look of it. And then they kept their like kind of like the sportier clutch in it. I love how like the top roof and the A pillars, and then it has the red stitching all around. Gorgeous looking car. Hope you guys get one of these cars. And like always, guys, this is pretty much it. This car will be an amazing car in the track. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. And like always, I'll be around with another tuning video. Peace out, guys.